Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So today we're taking a look at some more cases for the iPhone 17 Pro Max, and we also have a couple of screen protectors included as well. So these are from TAC. So TAC did actually reach out to me, I think the last couple of years, and provided me with some of their cases. They normally produce ultra slim cases for iPhones. This year they've sent me what they have available right now, but I will also be getting some of their Pro line later down the line. Now they have also provided me with a couple of their screen protectors. Now I'm not going to install these on screen, but I may well install one of these and use it as a daily driver just to see how it actually goes. Now they provided two different models, so they provided the matte version as well as the gloss. Now on the matte, obviously they do have this cutout, which is understandable because you don't want that matte coating or diffusion over a glossy screen for the camera. But on the glossy one, I'm hoping that this isn't actually there. So what I may do is just open it up, and in fact, we'll take a look at the gloss version. We'll open it up and we'll take a look at what we actually get. So this, I'm presuming, is going to be their single installation kit. So it does come with the actual installation sort of guide or the actual kit. And oh yeah, so the screen protector is already in there. This is, well, your cleaning kit. So this is what you're getting in there. So you're getting your cleaning kit in there, and your screen protector is already here. And looking at it, yeah, I don't see no cutout on this. So I think that is just for illustration purposes in terms of the actual packaging itself. So yeah, on the matte version, I believe there may well be a cutout where your camera module as well as your Face ID modules are sort of located, but it doesn't look like that is the case on the gloss version. But as I said, we'll take a look at these off screen. So in terms of the cases, they've changed up some of their packaging from previous years. In previous years, it's always been very simple cases as well. So the two ones that they've actually sent out is Arctic Frost, and this is for the 2025, and they just designated with the actual screen size. And these are both standard case 4.0s, and they're also the Granite Frost, which I'm guessing this is going to be maybe the clear one. So let's take a look. So yeah, so your Arctic Frost is your clear case. Now basically, as I mentioned, these are ultra slim. So I know Apple sells a slim case, but this is what you call actually slim. So this is literally, I'd call this a skin case for your phone. So it's the equivalent of just using a sort of like a D brand skin or something like that, as opposed to actually having a proper bulky chunky case. So if you want to actually keep the sort of smallest form factor possible, then this is basically what you go for. So let's get this tag removed. So as you can see just there, super slim. So we'll slide it in, and normally this has a very satisfying click once everything actually slots in. And in terms of your buttons, yeah, it's still very tactile. So they all do have a sort of cut on either the top section or the bottom section of the button, which means that you are getting a very good tactile click, even though this is a sort of rigidy, not totally rigid, but sort of rigid plastic. So it's not a soft, flexible TPU type material. This is sort of hard plastic. Now, one thing that I didn't realize from this particular one was this one actually has the full cover. I know they do also have some models where you have a full cutout. I believe this one may actually be like that. So let's take a look at this one and see if this one is the same. No, so this one is the same. So you are getting full. It's not really camera protection anymore because, I mean, this is aluminium anyway, so you're not really protecting that with this, but it is a full cover. So the only difference between these two is obviously the shade. So this one is obviously your darker tint, whereas this one is your nice bright white clear case. In terms of grip, I've always said that these cases are going to be a little bit slippery. So the actual texture of these does have a sort of fine sort of grain to it, just by the molding process and everything like that, but it's not grippy. So if you need something that is grippy, I would probably suggest looking at some of their Pro cases. But if you want the most minimal slim case possible, then this is basically what you're looking for. So it doesn't add much weight and it doesn't add much bulk in terms of the actual case or the phone itself. And once again, because you are getting the full cover and it's all uniform, you will not get any rocking when you're flat on a desk. So in terms of the two colors, here's the clear one, and in terms of taking it off, it's actually quite easy. It does have a little bit of flex to it, but as I said, it's not a soft case by any means. And this is how the darker one looks. Now in previous years, because of the colors of phones that I've actually chosen, the dark ones didn't actually make that much of they didn't stand out as much. On this one, I think it does actually do a better job in terms of tinting, just because the phone is so much brighter on this particular model. You only get a slight glimpse around the camera rings of the actual original color. So this obviously will look very different depending on which color phone you've got. But for me, out of these two, I would probably go for the clear one. So on this one, you do have a little bit of branding just there. So designed by TAC. In terms of your ports, everything's lining up perfectly. So the one thing that I don't believe I mentioned on this one was obviously with your camera control, you do also have a cover. So I will need to test that to see how well that actually works. It will work as a button, but I'm not sure about the sensitivity, because taking a look at this, there is no sort of conductors on the inside, so it is literally just the flex of the actual plastic that is initiating, which ironically is probably how I'd want to use that button anyway. I'm not a fan of using the camera control whilst taking photos or video, just because I don't find it very ergonomic, and I just find that it's a lot more controllable using the on-screen displays rather than using the camera control. But yeah, so you do have a cover for that. Power buttons and everything else is exactly the same as the other one, so very tactile. And yeah, out of the two, just because of how clear this one is, you don't even see that branding unless it's in certain light, and then you can see designed by TAC. One final thing to note is that you are getting a little bit of lay on the table design, because I do have a screen protector installed, and yes, it's just coming up to the edge of that, probably flush with the actual screen protector at the moment. So yeah, you do get a little bit of lay on the table design, you get full camera protection, and obviously being completely flat means that you then get no rocking either. So yeah, that's the two offerings from TAC. As I mentioned, I will take a look at these screen protectors off screen, and I'll give you my thoughts via the community tab on that, or I'll just leave a comment in the comment section of this video. I will also be taking a look at their Pro cases once they have them in stock, so stay tuned for those. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss any future videos, and I really appreciate if you can also give this video a thumbs up as well. And until the next one, thanks very much for watching.